Hi everyone. I have been asked a few times today, I'm not sure why today, but about the recall to prison of Kevin Lane. I don't know the guy. I never came across him in the system, and I I don't know why he's been recalled. Uh, I think there's every possibility right now that he doesn't particularly know the details of why he's been recalled. I have been recalled in my past, but it was a paper exercise, really. I was nicked anyway, so I was definitely being remanded to prison. This was in 2014 when I was arrested on my second case. So yeah, it was just a paper exercise that they have to do, but pulled off the street for seemingly not no reason, but for reasons kind of unknown to yourself, hasn't happened to me. So I'm none the wiser. I didn't actually know he'd been recalled until I found one of those questions today. Anybody could speculate about what the cause is. I'm not going to bother. It could be anything and everything. License conditions vary from person to person. The kind of fundamentals are all the same, but then depending on the individual and his reason for being in jail in the first place, then probation usually kind of tailor a little bit of extra license conditions or altered license conditions. They have done for me, and I'm pretty certain they do that for a lot of people. So the short answer is I have no idea why Kevin Lane has been recalled. I know who he is in terms of I saw him on Banged Up. I've seen briefly bits of him on podcasts. Yeah, I guess in time the reasons will become clear, or clearer at least. So I'm kind of thinking that he will now be subject to parole board for release. I think he is a lifer, so I'm not sure exactly what the time frame for that is. I know that, for example, if I was recalled on a standard recall, there are two types, standard and fixed. Fixed is 28 days or less. Standard is subject to, for somebody like me with a determinate sentence, it's on paper it's a 3-month paper parole board. What I saw when I was away until last year was that 3 months can often become 4, 5, 6 months, which must be really difficult to deal with and process. But to be honest, if you're on recall, then you have at least some understanding of how things actually work as opposed to how they should work. So I'm guessing that he will be subject to, it will definitely be a parole board. I'm not sure what the period of time will be. I really don't know. I'm not a lifer. I've never been one. So I don't have every detail about that. Yeah, so for those of you who have asked me, I'm afraid I can only give you that. Speculation we can all do, but there's not really much value to it. But I can say this, being on license, it is a bit of a tightrope walk at times. And I think there's also, people have to be really mindful of being complacent. That's probably something that really catches people out, because, for example, if you've been out for 10 months like I have, I can imagine how a lot of people will just take their eye off the ball, because you feel free every day to do more or less what you like. But I'm not one of those people. Fortunately for me, I understand and I know my license conditions very well. I don't need to refer to bits of paper to know what is expected of me. And I'll be honest, it's not that difficult. It really isn't. If your intentions are correct and positive, as mine are. I mean, look, I go to work every day. I certainly don't interact with anyone I know to be a criminal, an ex-con, whatever you want to call it. I barely interact with anybody, so I'm certainly not going out of my way to speak to people who, being completely honest, there's no real value in it to me. I'm not a criminal anymore, so let them do what they're doing and I do what I'm doing, and never the twain shall meet. I did make some friends, of course, during my 17 years behind the door, but they're, apart from some of my co-defendants who were close friends of mine before the shit hit the fan, I have no particular reason to want to speak to people I met in prison. It's a difficult one, and I might sound a bit aloof about that, but I generally am a bit aloof. So I don't mean to be that in a malicious way. It's just my character. I keep people at arm's length, and yeah, friends for me are also really quite transient. They come, they go. I don't lose much sleep over stuff like that. My real friends are my real friends, and they remain so. And yes, I've made some new friends since I came out, mostly through my social media stuff. But I really spend the vast majority of my time, whether it be at work or not, on my own. And yeah, I like that. I'm just one of those people in life. I kind of prefer my own company. I'm so conditioned to it, not just from prison, but from my past life and my young life, that it's just completely comfortable and natural for me. So yeah, I will do a video at some point soon, just to elaborate on the whole podcasting thing. It's nothing overly complicated. I've just I was given some information by a friend from TikTok. I've done a bit of my own research to follow that up, and yeah, I will explain everything in due course. It's now Friday lunchtime. I've actually finished work for the day. I was up at 5, straight to London. I was at Waterloo by about 6:30. Was it 6:30? Might have even been a bit earlier than that. And yeah, I got my admin done on the way back on the train, and I've just popped into the gym, smashed my boobies a bit, and now I'm gonna just potter around and take care of my own business for a bit. So yeah, have a great Friday, everybody, and we will see each other soon. Take care all. Bye.